Beneath the Earth's surface, action is always occurring. The Earth's surface and the rest of the layers of the Earth are always moving and interacting with each other, resulting in infinite landforms.
The first layer is the crust. This is the layer that we live on. The crust is the first and thinnest layer. There are two types of crust. The thicker layer is the continental crust. You can tell it is older because the elevation is higher. The oceanic crust is the younger and thinner layer. This is the bottom of the ocean. Now over to my partner, Zach.
This oceanic crust is 4 to 7 miles thick. This rock is less than 200 million years old. That just shows you how long it takes for Earth's landforms to build up. The continental crust is made up of 6 continents. Eurasia, South America, North America, Africa, Antarctica, and Australia. The continental crust is made up of 3.8 billion years old rock. This rock has an average of 20 to 25 miles thick. However, this depends on the elevation. The top of a mountain is the oldest rock, and at the beach it is much younger. The rock on the beach is much younger than the rock on the mountains, but it is still older than the oceanic crust. All in all, the crust of the Earth is a very big part of the layers of the Earth. Now over to Gabe with more information about the Earth's surface, specifically the mantle, which is the layer under the crust.
The mantle is the layer under the crust. This is the thickest layer. The mantle is subdivided into two sections, the inner mantle and the outer mantle. The outer mantle is the thinnest layer of the two mantles. The outer layer is 7 to 140 miles from the surface of the Earth. The outer mantle consists of liquid rock. The temperature is 250 degrees Fahrenheit. The inner mantle is averaged at 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit. The inner mantle also consists of hard rock because of the pressure. The mantle is a hot, fiery ball of fury. Now over to Zach with more on the lithosphere and atmosphere.
Zach here with more information. The lithosphere is part of the mantle. It is the upper part of the mantle. It is what makes up the continental plates. It is between the crust and the top of the mantle. The continental plates are and part of the tectonic plates. The asthenosphere is the bottom subsection of the mantle. It is made up of a substance much like plastic, so it can move when it wants to move and stay when it wants to stay. This is also what the plates sit on. They slide around on the asthenosphere. All in all, this is a big part of the layer due to the idea that we sit on it. Back here with more information about the cores. The two cores are the most inner layers of the Earth. However, the outer core is the only liquid layer of the Earth. The outer core is 1,800 miles to 3,200 miles thick. This lake of hot liquid consists of nickel, iron, 10% of sulfur, and oxygen. This fiery liquid is very hot. How hot exactly? The outer core's temperature between 7,200 and 9,032 degrees Fahrenheit. The outer core also consists of a density. The inner core is the smallest, hottest layer of the Earth's surface. It is 3,200 to 3,960 miles from the Earth's surface. This layer consists of iron, nickel, sulfur, carbon, oxygen, silicon, and potassium. This layer is also a temperature of 9,032 to 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of the high pressure, the core is dense and compact and solid. Zach here on how mountains are formed. Mountains are formed by tectonic plates and shifting motions. Surprisingly, mountains can be formed by 4 different ways. One is when two tectonic plates push together. Another one is when two plates pull apart. This makes a rift valley where magma will dry, causing a mountain to build up over time. The third way is when plates slide against each other. This will possibly cause a mountain or a volcanic activity. Finally, mountains can be formed by plates sliding under each other. This may cause a volcano. This volcano will have dried up magma, which causes the mountain to grow. Another way is a volcano erupting. When this happens, the lava will build up, making more land. Time after time, if the volcano erupts, it'll just keep building up land and land. These ways are ways that the mountains can form.
Why do mountains break down? Mountains break down because of weathering, erosion, and deposition. Weathering is when natural forces break down rocks. Erosion is when rocks are being carried to a new location. Deposition is when rocks are being deposited in a new location. All these can change a mountain in many ways. Weathering will break down the mountain. Erosion will move the rocks. Finally, with deposition, rocks will be deposited in a new location on the mountain. All of these will cause the mountain to break down and change. All earth materials will change because of these causes. It's going.
Oh, okay. So, Alice here. We have here, down here. Goodness. What we have here is a sculpture of a land farm. So this experiment is deposition, weathering, and erosion. So first we start with weathering. So first the rocks will get broken into smaller pieces by weathering. Wow. Then slowly because of erosion, they'll move down the river. Deposition. No, erosion. They'll move down the river, but then finally they'll be deposited at the bottom of the river.
What's it called? What's it called?
Weathering, erosion, deposition. See the first picture you saw was a canyon. This canyon could be formed in two different ways. It could be formed by having erosion, weathering, and deposition, which you previously learned about. The weathering, like rain, can erode the rock away and deposit the rock further down the river. Another way is that two plates can move apart. This will make a rift valley. This can form in a lava river, like in Iceland. What a reference. There's also a great rift valley in the Western Africa.
Now over to our magic friends.
See this? The picture. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we think that it could be formed in two possible ways, but we're not certain. One way is that the plates push against each other, and that is what you see, the top of a mountain. Because it's just a new land farm, so it's pushing up, and you just barely see a little bit, because it started underwater, and then just rises and rises and rises and rises and rises. But right now it's pretty small, so in a long time it could form a huge island, but right now it's very small.
Do you see this picture? Do you?
Yes.
This is a picture of Mount Evans. This was formed much like Mount Everest. Just the plates clashed together in the Earth's history, earlier in the Earth's history. However, the Rocky Mountains are deforming instead of forming like the Himalayan mountains. Mountains can also be formed by volcanoes by having lava build up the mountain's base.
Go.
Howdy, y'all. Today, I'm going to talk about Everest. In Everest, it's a mountain in India, in China, in India and in China, you've got Everest. It's 29,000 feet tall. It's when India was a part of Asia, you know. My cousin Bubba told me that, but China and Asia, you know, China and now what we call China is in India collided, and they made Everest and all the Himalaya mountains. It's one of the oldest mountains ever collided, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Thanks for watching with our magic friends.